Hey guys, what's going on? My name is Nibs, and we are ATX VGC. Welcome back to our Monday Night Friendlies. Alongside me tonight is Rollercoaster. How you doing, Rollercoaster?
I'm doing good, man. I was in the desert a week ago, so I'm excited to see what the game's like. I have no idea.
Yeah, what even is Pokemon anymore?
Right?
What format are we in? Who knows? All right, so first off tonight, I believe we have Woke Flossie versus Woke Flossie, aka Amy, and she is battling against. Remind me, Adam Santacos. That's right.
Mhm.
All right. So I don't know if you have anything to say, Rollercoaster.
No, I just know that both of them allegedly have some pretty unconventional things. So, I love me seeing some weird matches. I'm down for it.
Yeah, maybe we'll see Greedent this week.
I'm always down for Greedent. I want to see Pincurchin KO another dragon.
Yeah. All right, guys, we are back with more of our Monday Night Friendlies. Yeah, so that was a very fun battle to watch there. Fun set. Do you have anything to say about that, Rollercoaster?
I technically learned about some Pokemon that I didn't know very much about. I learned that Rapidash gets Sword Stance, Garbodor can explode, and Wailord at +3 attack still does not do that much damage.
Yeah, you have to crit the double. That's what I've learned.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so it looks like this matchup around we have Charisma versus who I believe is
Bat.
Is it Bat or Fortune? I think it is Bat.
It's Bat.
All right.
Okay. Very cool. Yeah. So we're gonna see Charisma and Bat go at it. I have no idea what these two are bringing this time. Charisma has been favoring Porygon Z stuff. Oh, this is a Series 5 game. Okay, sick. Look, I know that it's controversial, but God, do I miss Series 5. That was where I reigned supreme.
Yeah, my opinion is like kind of hard to say on it. It just doesn't make any sense what they did.
Oh yeah, definitely.
I do think the format makes a whole lot more sense when like everything before was legal, basically,
Well, if you wanted Series 5, it doesn't get more Series 5 than this. I believe that all of these Pokemon are banned. We've got Cinderace, Venusaur, Torkoal, Tyranitar, Incineroar, and Togekiss against Bats, Dragapult, Togekiss, Excadrill, Tyranitar, Incineroar, and Rillaboom. All of these are banned Pokemon. I miss a lot of them. I don't miss a couple of them.
Yeah, so if you guys want to see what's gonna come up here in our in the Future Players 2 Cup qualifier, you're looking at it right now. Mm-hmm. All of these Pokemon will be running rampant.
Mm-hmm. So Charisma has a very interesting team. It's like a sort of, I don't know if this is Charisma's own team, but I've definitely seen variations of it. It's a Sun team that uses just regular Cinderace to use Max Flare to set the Sun whenever Venusaur loses the speed control. Bat's just gonna go for Excadrill, Togekiss. I love this so much. I love Ted. I love this.
I think this is my favorite lead versus your favorite lead right now. Which your favorite lead wins, Togekiss, obviously, but
yeah. Tyranitar, Togekiss versus Togekiss, Excadrill. All right, so let's go into some classic TED talk here. We got probably a Focus Sash or potentially a Lumberry on the Excadrill. I would imagine a Weakness Policy on the Tyranitar. Scope Lens or Razor Claw on either of these Togekiss, or maybe something like a Beery Berry. We don't know if these are offensive or supportive only Togekisses. That Togekiss is going to switch right out. It's probably going to be the Incineroar to get the Intimidate off of it. Bat isn't super threatened right now. I would go for something like a Helping Hand Earthquake if this was a Focus Sashed Excadrill. Togekiss is just going to go for Protect, probably afraid of a... Ooh!
Oh!
Yes!
Is that Rollercoaster on the other side of the field? Going for that turn 1 Sword Stance with the Excadrill.
Ooh,
oh, man.
Protect comes from a taunt, so Bat probably not wanting to take a Max Rockfall and lose their Togekiss right away goes for Protect, but it actually dodges a taunt from the Tyranitar, and now this Excadrill is at +1 after getting that Swords Dance off. So that Incineroar needs to get out of there because the Max Quake will definitely finish it off. And as we saw with Togekiss in the back, the entirety of Charisma's, or 3 of Charisma's Pokemon are weak to Excadrill.
And we are going to see another Incineroar come out. This time from Bat's side of the field. Going to get the Intimidate off, obviously, into the Incineroar and the Tyranitar. Excadrill just going to opt for the Protect this time around. Not going to be too aggressive there. Superpower does come from the Tyranitar, going straight into that Protect, as well as the Parting Shot coming from that Incineroar.
Oh, that was a great play. So yeah, Incineroar comes in for free, gets Intimidates off onto Charisma's team, and Bat just kind of is still in a really good spot. You still got a +1 Excadrill. Wait, did we see if this was Sand Rush? Like, Charisma may have given Bat the Sand Rush, so now it's the fastest thing on the field. Cinderace comes in, and Incineroar is going to go for a Fake Out onto the opposing Incineroar. Iron Head's going to come out into the Cinderace, and that does half still, and Incineroar is just going to flinch.
Yeah, so pretty cool here. I did not notice the Mold Breaker sign pop up.
There's a Tyranitar on Bat's team, so I would assume that this Excadrill is in fact Sand Rush. Yeah. Now Bat seems to have a really safe pivot back to Togekiss and Earthquake if their Excadrill has it. Cinderace is going to swap out on Charisma's side, obviously under a lot of pressure right now. Togekiss is going to come here, potentially baiting a Max Quake in there. Bat's going to switch out there Incineroar, bring out Togekiss. Like I said, this seems like a really easy Earthquake if you have it. Max is going to come out from Bat's Excadrill. So this is a Max Quake into what was the Cinderace. Then Charisma has a really great turn this time.
Yeah.
Let's see what the Excadrill went for.
Oh, Max, it's going to be a Max Steel Spike going into the Togekiss that just switched in this time around. It's going to be enough to just get that clean one-hit KO. Oh my goodness, also getting the boost on Bat's side of the field. Holy cow, what a read. I guess it makes sense. We saw the damage output coming from the Iron Head.
Yeah, Iron Head did about half, so I think that was a lot. I mean, like, it looks flashy and it looks cool, and it was flashy and it was cool, but it was a pretty solid move. Like, all the attackers, apart from the Togekiss, are physical. The only thing that can safely switch in to a Max Quake would be a Togekiss. So you get the KO onto Cinderace if it doesn't Dynamax, which if you've taken that much damage, you probably don't want to Dynamax. And you get defense boost on your Togekiss and on your Excadrill. The only kind of downside to that is that you did get the Parting Shot did go off onto the Excadrill, and then the Incineroar was able to cycle back in. So now you're back at -1. But with how low that Cinderace is, I'd say that you still have a really solid Max Quake into there. Like, you can still get rid of the Cinderace, which is potentially the thing that is pressuring the Excadrill the most right now.
Yeah, I'd have to agree. I don't think that we're gonna see a Max Cinderace here. I don't think it's gonna get the chance.
It'd be risky. So Fake Out going into Togekiss, either Bat was just okay with eating that up, or that Togekiss does not have Helping Hand or anything like that. Yep, Quake coming out into the Cinderace is going to easily pick it off, which means that Charisma can no longer cycle Intimidates from there Incineroar, but Bat still has that option. The only thing that Bat's probably going to want to play around these next few turns is a potential weakness policy on the Tyranitar, which has not been confirmed from Bat's perspective. And yeah, that's kind of it. I mean, like, you can kind of switch your Incineroar back in, go for a Quake onto the opposing Incineroar just for the chip damage. It's going to be a bit more than just chip, though. And you can kind of just, like, leave that Tyranitar alone until you've kind of intimidated enough to you're not really afraid of it anymore.
Yeah, kind of interesting to see Thunder Wave here on the Tyranitar.
Tyranitar has Thunder Wave. Oh, that's sick.
Yeah, that's not something I've seen in the past at all, I don't think.
Looks like Charisma is going to go for the Dynamax. This is going to be that Tyranitar. Don't really want to Dynamax your Incineroar. Tyranitar gets big. God, I love these Pokemon. These are some of my favorite Pokemon. I miss them every day.
That's what our Monday night friendlies are here for, Roller Coaster.
Yeah. Excadrill goes for Max Quake into Incineroar. Just misses the KO onto it. Potentially something like a double up with an Air Slash is going to come out here from the Togekiss. Knuckle, Charisma calls that either you're going to switch in your Incineroar or you're not going to follow me. Either way, I'm going to get a super effective attack into this Excadrill. And yeah, a Yawn onto the Tyranitar, very, very good. Yeah, so, and a Flare Blitz, a +1 Flare Blitz. So we've confirmed that there's no weakness policy on that Excadrill. Ooh, actually, Incineroar dies to Recoil, so that ends up getting a KO that turn and putting Charisma's only remaining offensive Pokemon to sleep, which means that its next turn, that can just go for like a Follow Me Swords Dance, and then even switch Incineroar this next turn in and Swords Dance again. Charisma kind of doesn't really have a chance here. Tyranitar is strong, but unfortunately, it's just kind of been shut down a little bit here.
Yeah, pretty entertaining game one there from Charisma and back picking up the win. I don't think it was commanding as it looks like it may have been considering the 4-1, but all those switches in and out. Just, I mean, that battle was how many turns there, Roller Coaster?
Excadrill just finished Dynamaxing, and there were like 2 or 3 turns before that, so 6 maybe.
Yeah, I think it was probably more than that.
Something that Charisma might want to adjust is leading with the Sun or having the Sun mode in the back. That Excadrill definitely caused a lot of trouble. I can see why Charisma would lead with the Tyranitar. Obviously, Dragapult's super scary, and Tyranitar is a really, really solid counter to it. But giving Bat the Sandstorm and making Excadrill the fastest thing on the field, like, really gave them the kind of like freedom to do whatever they wanted. Like, they were able to pivot and protect and like Swords Dance up and like boost like pre-save. Oh dang, like Charisma locked in fast, but it looks like Pat locked in even faster. Both these players are ready to go. They got a game plan.
Yeah, so commenting on not wanting to bring the sand matchup a whole lot, this team is not great against the Excadrill T-Tar matchup. So I think you're definitely going to want to have Torkoal on this team.
Okay, it looks like Charisma decides to lead with both the Tyranitar and the Venusaur, kind of giving him the option to like react, to pivot pretty well here. Like, so the Intimidate onto the Tyranitar is not going to be great, but you still have your Venusaur out. You can switch it out. You don't have to do anything with it. You can just go for a Rock Slide for the chip damage. I don't know how fast that Tyranitar is. Personally, I always like to run max speed on my Tyranitar, so I just always assume that I'm faster than an Incineroar. But you could go for a Yawn here, Fake Out, Airstream. Looks like Incineroar is going to come out for Charisma, get the Intimidate off on here. That was probably more just to protect the Venusaur than it was to do anything else. Rock Slide coming out, so that Tyranitar is faster than both of Bat's Pokemon. We'll see if they gets any flinches. No flinches. Yawn is going to come into the Tyranitar, but luckily there was no Max, so you didn't really lose anything. And a Snarl coming out from Incineroar, which, let's take a look at the Sand Chip order here real quick. Togekiss gets hit by the Sandstorm, and Incineroar gets hit by the Sandstorm. So normally whenever I see Snarl on Incineroar and it gets hit by Sand, I assume that it's Assault Vest.
Yeah, so we do notice Charisma's Incineroar there is safety goggles as well, so not going to take any damage from that Sand.
Yeah, Charisma seems like really safe from the Sand. Honestly, you could just go for another... Okay, looks like... Charisma is just going to go for another Rock Slide, get the damage off. Not really worried about being put to sleep. I don't think this Tyranitar is one that you want to max. It's kind of there to just kind of like chip things away and like have cleanup in the back do better. Flare Blitz going to come out. That may have been a read of the... Yeah, that was definitely a read of the Venusaur switch in. which I don't think that's a bad play at all.
No, I don't mind that.
Normally people don't like their Tyrannotars going to sleep, so that I'd say that was a pretty. You know, the Venusaur's in the back. Cinderace is super frail, so it's probably going to take a decent chunk from a Flare Blitz, but your Incineroar's still alive, so you're fine.
Mm-hmm.
But Incineroar is getting low. It's just going to hard switch out here. Excadrill's going to come in. Tyranitar takes its first turn of sleep. Togekiss goes for a Yawn into the Incineroar. And this Incineroar is just going to go for a parting shot into the Togekiss. And this is presumably going to be back into that Venusaur, which means that Charisma can, if the Torkoal is in the back, which obviously we can see, can just go for like a Max and a Blind Lash into Bat's Excadrill.
Yeah, so do you think Bat predicts the switch in here for the Torkoal and just goes straight for Max Quake into the Tyranitar slot potentially? I mean, it's going to do super effective damage either way, so you're not losing in that turn.
It depends on what kind of spread this Excadrill is. Some Excadrills are like Focus Sash, Max Attack, Max Speed, and so they don't really need the Swords Dance to do damage. I mean, Excadrill's like a crazy strong Pokemon regardless. Yeah. But like, this potentially, and the Incineroar is still pivoting around. You don't want to be like stuck into a -1 with your Dynamax. And yeah, Togekiss is going to switch out for their Tyranitar, predicting the Torkoal to come in to keep the speed control onto Excadrill. There is a Dynamax coming out. This is presumably going to be the Excadrill. And this is a really good position for Charisma because the Torkoal did not come in. They have the option to do it next turn and overwrite the sand that is still up.
Yeah, so do you think we do see that Max Quake coming in?
With the Tyranitar switching in, I would definitely say that there's a Quake coming into what was formerly the Tyranitar slot. What is nice from Bat's perspective is that if you assume the Torkoal is in the back, only a ground weak Pokemon can come into that slot.
Right.
Which means that like you're always going to be getting a super effective hit off, and you're increasing your special defense, making you more resilient to the Venusaur. That gets really good damage off onto the Incineroar.
Yeah, it brings it down to 38 HP into the red, and we are going to see the special defense boost coming here from on Bat's side of the field. We do see the Max Ooze coming in from the Venusaur from Charisma, and that's not going to do a whole lot of damage.
Yeah, with the Sand Chip and the special defense boost, that's not really going to do anything. So now
I have to imagine that Max Lash is going to do Max Vine Lash is going to do a lot to both of these Pokemon, right?
Yeah, Excadrill is not the bulkiest of Pokemon, and they're still at neutral, so Vine Lash can still do a lot. The thing that becomes scary now is, do you switch the Togekiss in? Apparently you do. This could also be the Incineroar. Yeah, so Incineroar is going to come in. Get a Intimidate off. That doesn't really do anything at this point. Excadrill presumably going to go for another Max Quake. I would assume to finish off the Incineroar. Yeah, now it's at +2 special defense. I imagine it's going to take the Vine Lash very well at this point. Charisma doing a really good job of like preserving the Torkoal. He really, really wants to win the Weather War here. Yeah. And a Vine Lash is going to come into this Excadrill. It's +2 special defense. Oh, dang. Excadrill eats that.
Yeah, it doesn't even bring it down to 50%. That's pretty impressive there. Sandstorm does go away. And now Bat is in a position where they can guarantee that the weather is in their favor this turn, because we've seen that their Tyranitar is faster than their Incineroar, which means that switching in their Tyranitar guarantees the Sandstorm will be up, because the switch outs happen in speed order. So if Torkoal comes in, it'll switch out before Incineroar switches out. But do you think that that's going to happen?
I honestly would predict the Tyranitar to just stay in.
Yeah. I think that Charisma may have predicted that if he was to bring the Torkoal in there, then Bat is more obligated to just switch in his own Tyranitar to outspeed with the Excadrill. So just going straight for the Tyranitar, it doesn't really matter at that point.
Okay, yeah, this is kind of perfect. So, okay, cool. So Bat gets the KO onto Tyranitar, and that means that she Quake coming out. So Bat has won the Weather War now. That may have been a crit. Was it? Yep.
Yeah,
it was. It was a crit. So Excadrill's out of the way. Togekiss is still there. Bat still has fake out pressure and has just won the Weather War, and we don't know how fast her Tyranitar is. Okay, Flare Blitz just. Oh, did that crit?
Holy cow! Yes, it did. Wow.
A crit for a crit. Jesus.
Holy cow! What a slugfest. Oh
okay, well, I honestly think that just kind of
goes down.
Wait, well, okay, so this is something that's kind of nice.
Tyranitar, I think here, isn't it?
Well. Now, because switching order isn't what determines the weather, it's just regular speed. Charisma wins the Weather War. Unfortunately, his Venusaur is not around to see that. Tyranitar comes in. Drought comes up. Sandstream is not going to activate because the Sandstorm is already up. And I think what you probably want to do here is Yawn protect the Tyranitar, or maybe you just start going for Rock Slides because you don't really know what this Torkoal has. Okay, yeah, Protect gonna come out from Tyranitar. Protect gonna come out from Torkoal. Presumably a Yawn is gonna come out from Togekiss. Yeah, Yawn's coming out from Togekiss. Vine Lash Chip is gonna go into effect, and on both of these Pokemon. The only scary thing right now for Bat is that the Tyranitar may be in Body Press range, and Togekiss is low, and it's going to get lower and lower and lower with the Vine Lash chip, and we don't really know what the item is. So Yawn's going to come out from the Togekiss, and Rock Slide's going to come out from Tyranitar. It dodges, so not even a chance for a flinch, and it looks like this is just going to come down to sleep turns.
Wow.
Because honestly, I think if you're Charisma, you want to protect your Torkoal this turn. Bat can't really do anything about that. It guarantees the Tyranitar falls asleep, and Togekiss. I don't know how many turns of Vine Lash are left. Either that was the last turn or this next one's the last turn. But it looks like Togekiss is just going to go down to the Vine Lash. Torkoal does protect. Tyranitar's, Dazzling Gleam. Ooh, it may not have Air Slash. We've seen Protect, Yawn, Dazzling Gleam, and presumably Follow Me. Although it could not have that. Tyranitar going to fall asleep. And let's see, is there any more Vine Lash? There's no more Vine Lash.
Yeah, so that's probably going to be it right there.
Well, this is going to come down to sleep turns because if Torkoal can get the Body Press KO onto Tyranitar before Tyranitar wakes up, then you're going to be in a lot of trouble because I don't think that Togekiss can 1v1 this Torkoal, especially with how low it is. So yeah, it's honestly just going to come down to sleep turns at this point.
Yeah, so if you're Bat, don't you just click Follow Me or no?
I think it's still.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, does this get it? Yeah, that gets it. That, God, that is a really bummer of a way to end the match. I mean, like, it is, yeah, like, you can go for Follow Me at that turn, but, like, the thing is, like, you're still playing with sleep turns no matter what you do. Like, you can Follow Me every turn, but if Torkoal wakes up and your Tyranitar doesn't, that's just kind of it. That could have gone for another Yawn there, but you probably just go down to a Burning Jealousy. And this way she at least gets the information of, like, what item the Torkoal has. But that was a really like well played match, and it just kind of it was sleep turns at the end. Like who's gonna wake up first?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And that rock slide miss definitely did not help at all.
Yeah, so pretty fun stuff there from Charisma and Bat.
Mm-hmm. So it looks like it seems that the sand mode is still very, very solid for Bat, and it seems that the sun mode is the way that Charisma should be playing this. I'd say that was a much more of a back and forth. But yeah, the kind of last few turns didn't really it went into the hands of RNGesus, and there's nothing anyone could have done to stop that.
Yeah, that's true. And I'm seeing in the chat, this is why we play out our games.
Yeah, you got to get that information. You never know what's going to happen. But so we're going to go into game 3 here, and
oh yeah, so I'm sorry. I was kind of thinking there for a second. So before we do go into game 3, guys, I do want to go ahead and plug the Texas Discord Wednesdays. Check out the Battlefy link there in the chat. We have Wednesday tours coming up.
So, yeah, I think that the sun mode seems to be like the most solid option for Charisma. It seems to do very, very well.
Yeah, so
that may honestly be thinking about bringing the Dragapult this time around. Tyranitar is the only thing that really counters it. I think everything else does really well. Incineroar too. So maybe you still leave the Dragapult at home. But after seeing like the willingness to bring the Venusaur, so we'll see if Bat makes any adjustment. Bat does bring the Dragapult out this time, and the Incineroar.
Yeah. So, guys, I just want to iterate that the Wednesday tours is not an ATX VGC fully affiliated thing, as I personally am a part of running it, but ATX VGC is not completely behind running it.
Did you freeze Nibs? It appears that Nibs froze. Okay, so it's just me right now. So let's talk about the match. We've yet to see if this is regular Cinderace or Gigantamax Cinderace. So potentially the Cinderace can set up the Sun manually, although neither target on the field is really good right now. Personally, I would expect something like a Max Knuckle onto the Incineroar. Another thing that Bat may take notice of is that Charisma didn't really want to Dynamax the Tyranitar. It was kind of a last-ditch effort when nothing else was on the table. So Bat may just get bold and go for the Fake Out into it, and like Fake Out Wormwind or Fake Out Airstream into the Cinderace. But Bat does decide to Dynamax the Dragapult. Charisma decides to Dynamax the Cinderace. Is going to get big. It is a regular Cinderace, so now we know that Cinderace can set the Sun without having Torkoal come in. So you can't reliably assume that Torkoal's in the back. Wormwind's going to come out, no fake outs. Going to drop Cinderace attack. That does a lot of damage. Oh, Dragapult, you're so strong. You're so beautiful. Why did you leave us? I never wanted you to go. Knuckles going to come out. This is into Incineroar. Luckily, it's now -2. So that's going to be way less of a problem. Knuckles still does way more damage than it should for like a -2 hit into an Incineroar. Cinderace is disgusting. I do not miss it at all. Thunder Wave coming out from Tyranitar, which means that not only is this Dragapult going to be a lot slower, but it has the chance of not moving at all any turns. And Incineroar goes for U-turn, pretty much confirming that it is assault vested, because it probably would have preferred to get something like a parting shot off. Excadrill coming out. We don't know if the Excadrill is Earthquake or high horsepower, but it looks like a high horsepower could definitely pick up the KO into the Cinderace right now. It could also just go for an Iron Head into the Tyranitar. We don't know if Bat brought her Tyranitar, so she may not have the option for weather control at all. Looks like Charisma's going to make a really bold move here. I'm very curious to see how this plays out for him. The scariest thing for me is the paralysis chances on the Dragapult. Bat not wanting to risk anything bad happening to... Ooh, that's kind of a risky switch there. Bat not wanting to risk anything happening to the Excadrill, switches in Tyranitar for it. Torkoal comes in. Drought triggers. Charisma decides to just ditch his Dynamax. Superpower comes out into the Tyranitar, and it lives. Oh my god, that is amazing. Oh, Nibsy back?
I'm back.
Okay,
what's up,
cool.
Guys? I'm here. Hey, how's it going?
Weakness policy triggers. Wormwind does go off. Gets half damage off into that Torkoal. And the scary thing now... Well, actually, no, this isn't that scary. You still have your Dynamax, and Charisma does not. I'd be worried about Tyranitar speed ties. The unfortunate thing is now everything in that slot is weak to fighting. Bat's only fighting immunity is on the field, so Charisma can just freely fire off superpowers into that slot. And something like a critical hit could be really disastrous for Bat. Yeah, Bat's valuing the weather more than the attack boost onto Tyranitar, especially when it's that low, and you're risking something like a speed tie. Tyranitar's at like -4 at this point. Superpower coming out. This should do like no damage. Yeah, it's totally fine. Dragapult presumably just going to go for a Wormwind into the Torkoal, I would guess. Yeah, trying to pick that off as best she can. Putting it real low. And yes, I do have Nib. Sorry if I'm cutting you out, but yeah. And Burning Jealousy is going to come out, not really doing anything to anybody.
Yeah, so one thing I do want to note about having all those fighting type weaknesses on the one side of the field, the only counter to it being its partner there, it was the Dragapult there is Dynamax. I don't know if we've seen Ally Switch, but Dragapult does have that in its move pool, so that is potentially could be on the Dragapult.
Mm-hmm. Really good fake out. This might be fake out Dragon Darts. Oh, but Dragapult gets fully paralyzed this turn. I don't know how much Bat values her Incineroar at this point. Presumably what she really wants to do is just keep control of the weather. So you want to pick up the KO onto that Torkoal and then safely get in your Tyranitar so that you maintain control of the weather for the rest of the field, because I really think Excadrill is in a very good position to clean up the rest of the game at this point. She just has to manage to position it correctly. And on the reverse side, Charisma just has to keep the weather control in their favor and work through this Dragapult, because Venusaur should be able to get through other things pretty quickly.
Yeah, so I think once this Torkoal is off the field, it's going to be pretty easy for Bat to have that end game with the Excadrill, as you mentioned. It's going to be very easy to get around with the Excadrill with the Sun option being gone.
Mm-hmm. Flare Blitz coming out into the Torkoal, that is enough to pick it off, which means that Bat should win the Weather War from now on. Mm-hmm. Incineroar is real low, but that Tyranitar is I think it's -6 at this point. If that Tyranitar wants to do damage, it's gonna have to switch out or get a crit. Mm-hmm. Venusaur probably wants to take care of that Incineroar. It is low, but it is threatening. And it can't sleep powder the Dragapult. I think Bat probably just wants to go for something like a Dragon Darts this turn. Hope that you don't get paralyzed, and let your Incineroar go down gently and peacefully so that you can bring your Excadrill in and sweep the rest of the game.
Yeah, so we do see the Cinderace come onto the field, and as we know, it does have an Assault Vest. Earth Power coming in from the Venusaur into the Incineroar slot, going to be enough to take it out. Let's see if this Dragapult can avoid being fully parried this time around. Oh, and it does use Fly.
Ooh.
So kind of an interesting move there, as it is going to have to get around the fully paralysis 2 turns in a row for the move to work.
Yeah, that's it's good for the damage, bad for the risk, because now
it also has to land.
It has to land, yeah. So it's only a 90% accurate move. It can miss. Even if it connects, I don't think it KOs. I'm not entirely sure. I never go for just regular Fly. Oh, and also Charisma can just protect this turn. You don't really know that the Venusaur has Protect. Tyranitar goes for Protect. Let's see. Well, the other good part is that, Cinderace is faster than Dragapult, so you avoid getting... Oh, she went for the Cinderace!
Wow. Great play there from Bat.
Sick play. Good stuff. That was amazing. This battle is definitely far from over. You're still playing with paralysis chances onto the Dragapult. Tyranitar at this point has not gone for a dark type move onto Dragapult, and Bat has seen Rock Slide, Superpower, Taunt, and Thunder Wave, so it can't hit Dragapult for super effective damage, but it's still going to take a lot from a Rock Slide. I think at this point you may just just go for Dragon Darts and Superpower and hope that you get the KO onto something.
Yeah, the Earth Power coming from the Venusaur slot there. Gonna do quite a bit, but not gonna bring it in range. Wow, that Rock Slide miss there is gonna be huge. As the
Rock Slide
is
miss.
Stay around. That doesn't exist. We know Rock Slide always lands.
That Superpower is gonna easily KO that Tyranitar. And Venusaur versus Excadrill and Tyranitar with no sunlight, no sleep powder, and that much damage. I think that this I don't want to say it's over. We don't know if that Excadrill has a Focus Sash. Something like a Leaf Storm could take care of it. Maybe you just wait for the Sands chip to finish it off. But this is looking very, very favorable for Bat. High horsepower coming out. It connects, and that should... Ooh, it lives with just a little bit. Leaf Storm comes out from Venusaur, and it doesn't pick up the KO on Excadrill. Even if it did have a Sash, we're not going to find out. Life Orb Recoil is going to take that Venusaur out, and that game goes to Bat. And that was some great battling from both players. GG's.
Yeah, that was awesome. Some very good stuff from both of our players there in a 2-1 set. Very fun to watch, and cool Series 5 matchup as well.
Beautiful throwback.
Nothing but banned Pokemon.
Yeah, like the best banned Pokemon as far as I'm concerned. But that was really, really good stuff from both players. Charisma with a good adjustment and just kind of like keeping the momentum, knowing what he needs to sacrifice and what he needs to position, what he needs to have, what he needs to do in order to put himself in a favorable position. And Bat just kind of rolling with the punches and making a really, really good read right at the end there.
Yeah, those two are going crazy in the chat right now. It looks like they have a little bit of a competitiveness going on in our Discord channel. Now that I mentioned that, I might as well plug our Discord channel. If you guys want to be a part of our Monday night friendlies, go ahead and join our Discord, as that is the place to go to sign up for these Monday night specials. Thursday morning at 11 a.m. Central Standard Time. That's here in the United States of America. That's where you can sign up to be on stream here and be commentated by yours truly, Nibs and Rollercoaster. And we also have Gemma and Chase, Tiki, and Will as well. So cool stuff there. One more thing I do want to say, as I was saying right before that third game there, and before I decided to freeze for you guys. Go ahead and sign up if you're into VGC for the Wednesday tours. It's hosted by Texas VGC Discord. You do have to be on their Discord server as well. I know Gemma has a Battlefy link there in the chat for us. So go ahead and click that, join that tournament. It is so much fun. Every Wednesday, basically what happens is top 8 players will get points that will qualify you for the championship tournament. And yeah, if one of the 4 events break 32, if it goes more than 32 players, then actually the top 16 players will receive points that will potentially qualify you for that. So real cool thing there before we go into our third set of the night.
Yeah, we got 2 more matches, so we're going to try and get to those as quickly as possible. So me and Nibs will be right back.
Hey, you like that video? We think you should check this out, and YouTube thinks you should check this one out. And be sure to subscribe for more content.